Warning. Incoming game over. Warning. Incoming game over.
Alright, Flames fans, welcome aboard on what we call it the season ender. The Flames are now officially eliminated from playoff contention as things didn't go our way. We'll talk about that. I'll give you specifics on what to look forward to next, and we'll talk about any fun topics you want to. This is an open chat line, so if you want to ask me questions, you can. If you want to chat, you can. All about Flames hockey as the Flames win it in shootout by a score of 5-4 against the Vegas Golden Knights, but unfortunately won't see postseason action. They will see one more game though. That's the rescheduled match in LA. On Thursday, we'll talk about that. Cumulative, welcome aboard. Hello, long time no see. Flames eliminated. Yes, they got officially eliminated. I'll talk about the details soon. Keep chatting, keep hanging out. Matt sees we are gonna. We already missed playoffs by 21 seconds indeed. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And David W giving us a play-by-play of the shooter. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Thanks for spending the time. Invite your friends. Bring everybody. Feel free to like this video, subscribe, and share it with your friends as we talk about the pain. 21 seconds. The huge difference of tonight. The Flames had a chance, but then they toppled up in different ways as well, which didn't go our way tonight. We'll talk about all that more. We'll talk about the game specifics. I'll give a game summary. I'll talk about how the Flames got eliminated. We'll talk about line changes I'm expecting for Thursday. Can we see any debuts? And then we'll talk about call-ups and junior hockey. If you are just an NHL fan, maybe you want to watch other hockey, I'll tell you what's coming up as well soon. But welcome aboard. Cumulative, Matt C, David W. Thanks for spending the Tuesday evening with us, which rather I did not want to see this the way they go. But we'll talk about how they got eliminated in just mere moments. But before that, I have a quick ad read. I hate to do that always, but it's part of my the Game Over show. Shift into hyperdrive hockey and get ready to have some new fun with a new source of information with biggest stories in hockey, bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecer flavor. Hyperdrive hockey combines top tier hockey analysis and pop culture big stories. Davin Melabau, Kevin Lemaire, every Monday and Thursday, and Max Van Hoot as well. Join them every Monday and Thursday for your fill in on the hockey world. You can head to YouTube on Game Over Network channel or Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. Alright, let's talk about how the Flames eliminated, especially cumulative. If you didn't play close attention, and David W and Matsi, as I explained earlier, 21 seconds was the biggest difference. So the Flames came into this game wanting, they had an open chance, uh, but they wanted either St. Louis to lose in regulation or win in overtime. Okay, St. Louis to lose in regulation or win in overtime to be able to clinch a playoff spot, and Minnesota Wild to lose in regulation. St. Louis took control of their own game. They won 6-1 against the Utah Hockey Club. So they didn't lose in regulation. So that was cancelled out the bucket list. Minnesota Wild and the Anaheim Ducks, that had some life. Anaheim Ducks were up 2-1 with 21 seconds before the end of the third period. And Minnesota tied the game at 2-2, and then they won it in overtime 3-2. So Minnesota and St. Louis Blues will clinch instead of the Calgary Flames. Of course, the Calgary Flames were looking outside in. They were hanging around the wildcard spot, two spot for most of the season, but unfortunately losing couple recent games, especially that 3-2 loss in overtime against Anaheim Ducks, which we should have easily. I could maybe blame the Edmonton Oilers game. They had a 2-1 lead. They coughed that up in overtime. The St. Louis Blues earlier in the season, couple months ago, they had St. Louis Blues twice, not on the same day, separate days, 2 days apart or 1 day apart, I guess, and they lost that as well. So those are the some stingers for the Flames that happened this season. But you should be proud where this team came from. They were not destined to be a playoff team. They were in a rebuild, retool, whatever you want to call it. And it has been a fun season, hard work by them, but unfortunately not going the way we entered. And the Flames were eliminated mid-game, which is more devastating, like cumulative says. All right, let's talk about a bit of the game summary. If you still have questions about the playoff run, ask me on the chat. The chat line is wide open. Hello to David and Matsy and Cumulative, of course. So Dorofiev opened the scoring for the Vegas Golden Knights. Thomas Hurtle assisted by Brandon Saad. Shortly after, Morgan Frost. He's been amazing, really. We'll talk about more in just a moment about Morgan Frost, how much he has helped the team. Assisted by Coronato and Vigar. Shortly after, it was Nicholas Roy, assisted by Barbashev and Kolesar. And then Thomas Hurtle scores a goal, assisted by Brandon Saad. Of course, Brandon Saad coming from the St. Louis Blues. If you want to talk about that coincidence, you can. And then Haig as well. That brings 3-1 for the Vegas Golden Knights at the end of the first period. By then, still Flames had the live support. They just wanted to win that one. And they ended up winning tonight. But in between, it was decided it was St. Louis Blues and Minnesota Wild that clinches a playoff spot. As soon as they came into the second period, Nazem Kadri opens it with a power play goal assist by Coronato and Jonathan Huberdeau. Backlund shortly ties it after at 4. I might have actually missed a few goals here and there. No, actually, this is a 3-3 goal. Sorry. Backlund and Coleman assisted by Ball. Then it was in the third I didn't write the periods down. That's my bad. This time I went for a classic notebook. I was already sad as a Flames fan, so there was no scoring in the second period. That's what happened because I stopped watching the game once the elimination was official. I had to grieve myself, make sure I'm okay. I'm okay because you wouldn't expect the Flames to be in playoffs this season, but they miraculously, Dustin Wolf, Connor Zary, Mac Corona, to talk about all those young hard workers who got the Flames to this point. But in the third period, Nazem Kadri opens it with a power play goal. Then Michael Backlund. So 3 unanswered goals for the Flames. Adam Clark as well. What an amazing beast he has been since joining that first line with Huberto, Kadri and Klapka. I might wonder if that's a gem they go into next season. We'll have to wait and see though. And then Brandon Saad, unassisted for the Vegas Golden Knights, takes it to overtime. Nothing solves in overtime. There was one controversial call. Should they have let that play on Wolf continue? It was a quick grab and he throwed it. But the refs called it a stoppage of play. Not sure if that was the right call though. And for the shootout, it went to shootout for the Flames to win in 5-4. Victor Olofsson was stopped. Yegor Sharangovich didn't score. Dorofiev didn't score. Mac Coronato didn't score. Theodore didn't score, but Morgan Frost for the Flames ends up with 2 goals, technically one in regulation and one in shootout. Makes the game winner for the Flames, but once again, in vain effort, which has been maybe the story of the Flame season so far. Games that you need to win, you lose, and the games that you lose or the games that you win don't really matter. But kudos to the team. They still scrapped. They played with heart. I believe I heard on the Sportsnet broadcast they didn't want to leave the ice either. So it has been an amazing season so far. Thank you to all the fans of Game Over Network as well. Huge thank you to you. We'll have one more Game Over show coming up on Thursday. We'll try to have a crew on board. We'll also do a season recap video later on. So that's all coming up on Game Over Calgary later on. So keep your feet open. Of course, hit that bell icon and subscribe and like this video if you're enjoying this show so far. So that's your game scoring summary. The Flames win it 5-4 in shootout, but not enough as the Flames get eliminated 21 seconds. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 till 21, that was the only difference. Possibly. But again, at the same time, I would argue some of the games the Flames should have had, but I'll not go deep into that. We'll save that for another day. Alright, let's move into the second period where I want to talk about maybe some line changes we can expect on Thursday. Do you want to see any new players? List them below in the chat. But in the meantime, we have some tantalizing goodies to give you as a fan. We want to share. You are sharing the love for us. We want to return it back to you. There is extra access, exclusive looks behind the scene, Discord benefits, much discounts, and much more opportunities via the patreon.com. You can always click and subscribe this video. You can always rate us 5 stars. But if you want some tantalizing goodies, you can head to gameovernetwork.com. Alright, let's talk about the lines coming up on Thursday against the LA Kings. How different it might be. I'm gonna say I'll keep the Huberdeau Kadri Klapka line. I'm gonna keep the Coronado backline Coleman line because youngster there. With the Pospisil, Frost, and Sharangovich front, I might look into maybe possibly replacing Suniev into Pospisil. That's Ada Suniev, the prospect who recently joined the team but hasn't gotten a game yet because the Flames announced he won't be coming in until they're officially eliminated, and that has happened. Now the question to see, do we see a debut from either Ada Suniev or Zane Perek, two prospects with the team right now on the travel to LA on Thursday. So possibly we see Suniev, Frost, and Sharangovich, and then Lombard, Grooney, and Farabee. Although I haven't loved Farabee's game as of late either, maybe he might, depending on Ada Suniev, if he fits a fourth line role, maybe could we try him there. For the defense pairing, it's going to be tough. It's Anderson and Ball right now. Ball has had a couple tough games. Anderson had couple tough games. So do you maybe sub one of them out for the last meaningless game? I would keep Handley and Vigad. They have been solidified. And Bean and Pahal. Do we bring in Miramanov? That could be a change. Hopefully Miramanov will want to get a game in. And we'll see if there are any call-ups as well. So those are the lineup changes I expect. My predictions is that one. But let me know your prediction as well. The chat line is wide open. David W is saying, with the Flames out, it's pretty much go. Anything has to go. Whether any of Perek, Suniev, Frost, and Farabee will play against the LA Kings. Matt C. Anderson will sit out. Yeah, that's my bold prediction. We'll see though. I'm not the Flames. You are not the Flames, of course. We'll see what happens on Thursday. And we hopefully see debut of Perek and Suniev. Otherwise, Flames fans will have to wait out a long time. That's the next season in October to see any of these prospects. Wish there were still meaningful games past 81. But we'll have to close it at 81 meaningful games and then 82 to be played against the LA Kings. Yes, you should give full credit to the team in general, but last week clinched the first Eastern wildcard spot. Yeah, that's so. Eventually, we'll see the Battle of Ontario. Pardon me, soon as well. That's the Toronto and Ontario. If we were in the Eastern Conference, we would have been lucky to get in, but unfortunately, we are in the West, and that's how the season went by. Alright, Cumulative says, yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. It's been a really long time since I tuned in. This show is my main source of hockey news. Yeah, Game Over Calgary. Thanks for being a part of this family. Cumulative, appreciate it. Um, we always have new fans coming on, and Cumulative. I know you from my own personal shows. Now I'm part of Game Over Calgary. So thanks being a loyal supporter. We always appreciate it. And David W. and Matt C. as well. And for those who are still watching but not chatting, totally understand. It's a Tuesday evening. You want to grieve. You want to be sad. All totally fair. But do keep in mind we will be available on podcast format later, so you can listen to. And if you're enjoying the show so far, you probably want more of this, right? Of course. Well, make sure you hit the like button. Do that for me first. Click the subscribe, and make sure you check out the notification bell icon as well, so you are alerted when we go live. And if you're listening to podcasts, give us a 5-star rating and a positive review. We always appreciate it. You can always find us at the Game Over Network at Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and everywhere on all social media platforms. You can follow me at CGY underscore Anand, and Conrad is available on Blue Sky at Conrad Krausert. Um, and yeah, so the gap between the pick we are giving up and our New Jersey picks is likely to be very minimal. Yeah, we'll see how things goes. Draft wise, I'm not gonna. I don't want to speculate and make Flames fans sad on this sad day already. So we'll maybe talk about the draft pick and future stuff in the next show on Thursday, or maybe in the season recap. So stay tuned for that. You'll always find. Alright, let's talk about the third period. We'll talk about potential call ups. We can talk about junior hockey, which team you want to watch next, because there is still some Calgary playoff action going on. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about in the out of town scoreboard. Will also solidify the playoff race for you, because I believe it's all set right now as we speak. I'm just gonna pull that out, and if you want to do some predictions as well, feel free to. Um, it's always fun to gauge your views. So let's start with the Western Conference. We'll start on the far left hand side. We'll have the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues matching up for the as early as possible. We'll have Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche. We'll have Vegas Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild. And then last but not the least, LA Kings and Edmonton Oilers. On the Eastern Conference front, we have Toronto Maple Leafs and Ottawa Senators. Of course, go check them out. We have a Game Over network specified for all your markets. For Game Over Edmonton, we have Game Over Toronto, we have Game Over Winnipeg. Go check them out. Fabulous people. We have Tampa Bay and Florida as a matchup. We have Washington Capitals and the Montreal Canadiens. And last but not the least, Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. Those will be your NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, but some more teams have one more game to play, including your Calgary Flames on Thursday against the LA Kings in LA. We'll have to see what since LA Kings have home ice already, but I strongly believe we'll see at least Andrei Kuzmenko, who will want kind of revenge. He's been streaking lately, and it's coincidence though. At least Kuzmenko, he wanted to be a part of a playoff team, and now he's with a playoff team. So congratulations to him. All the best for the LA Kings as well. All right, who do you want to see for call ups from the AHL Calgary Wranglers team. That's going to be a good topic that's going to be decided over the next day or two, depending on if they will fly. I'm just going to look at the Wrangler schedule. Here, I believe they are in Calgary for the weekend. So I'm guessing they'll maybe fly out one or two, maybe even three or four, depending on how many call-ups they have. I believe they have a total of 4 call-ups. My guess, I want Rory Kerens, I want William Stromgren, maybe Martin Fark and Hunter Brustevich. Those are my thoughts, and then you will see maybe additional of Ada Suniev and Zane Perek. David W. says, will there be an All-Western Canadian playoff series? If one this spring occurs, it will be between the Oilers and Jets, but only if both teams face each other in a conference final, pretty much. Anything goes whether such as conference final will occur. Will there be an All-Western Canadian playoff series? It will be years in the making. It would be fun to see. We all believe in Canadian. We want all Canadian teams. Flames are inching there slowly. They have their franchise goalie in Dustin Wolf. They have young rookies in Connor Zary, Mac Coronato. Maybe a Zane Perek. We'll see what he can do on Thursday potentially. Because his path is now, he can be sent to the Wranglers. But his path next season will be OHL or NHL. So the Flames will have decisions to make on that front. Which all players will return? Will Kirkland return? Will Mantha return? All that questions to be thought about. We'll recap all that bigger on, like I said, the season recap. Okay, now on Thursday, I say go to Dan Bladar. Let him get his final start. And Dan Bladar has been amazing all throughout, especially the second half of the season after the Four Nations break. But Dustin Wolf has stolen the crease times he can. You saw him today stealing the crease. No hate to Dustin Wolf, of course. But kudos to the young rookie goaltender Dustin Wolf. And then if you want to watch some still more hockey, Calgary related, Calgary Wranglers have clinched a playoff spot. They are, I believe, at the Saddledome this weekend. The Calgary Hitmen are in playoffs too in the WHL. Kudos to Matt DeMille, who works in the WHL, in the dub. The Hitmen won tonight by a score of 5-3, so they keep their series alive. They were down 2-0 heading into Lebridge. Now they have closed it down to 2-1, looking to tie the series as early as tomorrow. So that will kind of wrap up for the Game Over content. I'll hit the chat line one more time if you have any particular questions, any thoughts on this team in general, anything, hit them now before I whip them through. I'll leave this QR code on the stream now though. If you want to go check out some of our apparel designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. If you want to support, wear some Game Over merch. I'll show you some of our designs. We have the hoodie, we have the cup, and we have a t-shirt as well. You can always represent your Calgary Flames while you're out and about on the street, and represent Game Over Calgary as well. Alright, we'll start with from the bottom to up so that I don't miss anything. David W., I enjoyed this stream and looking forward to watching the next Flames game if I can. Next Flames game, David, is going to be on Thursday against the LA Kings. It's in I forgot to check the puck drop time. Hold on, bear with me. 7:30 p.m. So not the late start, but expect me and Conrad to be on the post-game show. Cumulative, oh, you got your own merch line now. Actually, Cumulative, this is not my own show. This is part of Game Over Calgary. I work for them. I'm doing post game analysis. I'll be back on my regular channel soon as well, recapping the Flame season, hopefully. So stay tuned to that. Matt C saying the gap between the pick, we went through that already. We'll see how minimal it's going to be. Of course, slight spots differences won't make a huge difference. Matt C predicts Anderson will be out. Farabee should sit out too. Um, yeah, I hope. Yeah, Farabee has had a rough stretch. Morgan Frost was amazing today with 2 goals. We'll see what happens on that front. And then David W. ending up with shootout play by play. So that will do it on behalf of Game Over Calgary, on behalf of Conrad, on behalf of Matt DeMille, Ruby Zummack, Marek, and much of the entire Game Over Network crew. This was our the Calgary Flames final home game of the season as the Flames get eliminated by unfortunate circumstances. They needed the out of town scoreboard help, but didn't for 21 seconds. That was the difference. And now they head into LA on Thursday for a meaningless game. Chase Wilton, welcome aboard. If you have any particular questions or thoughts, let me know right now before I wrap up the show. But the Flames eliminated and won't see playoff action. Tokai number one is a great show. Thank you so much, Tokai. Kudos to you as well for being a regular supporter of Game Over Calgary. Do check out our other markets as well if you're a Flames. Um, Chase Wilton says, tough way to lose it this year. Indeed. Yeah, if you especially rely on other teams. And I'm gonna leave this comment for later, but I saw something funny on Twitter. I want to talk about it. We'll leave it for another time. But indeed, a tough way to lose it this year. Indeed, uh, Chase Wilton, pardon me. Hope you're a Flames fan too, or I see an NHL logo, so I'm guessing you're just a hockey fan. Thanks for your support as always. Okay, here Tokai number one, which Calgarian will most likely come home first. Makar, I'm assuming you're asking Makar, that's his maker. Hall, Nylander, Point, or Morrissey. I'm gonna say Kale Makar. That's what everybody wants. Um, let's go Kale Makar. 2027 when Scotia Place opens. So I'll say Kale Makar more than anybody else. I'm also assuming Aiden Hill is what you're asking, Hall. Maybe Hayden Hill as well because the Flames might need a new goaltender depending on if they part ways with Dan Bladder, depending what Dan Bladder is asking for. Of course, his contract is up soon, so we'll see if that's going to make any difference. Hope that helps your question, Tokai. And Chase Wilton says Flames on 3 fire. Yeah, 3 fire, indeed. And that will wrap up the show. Once again, one final show to wrap up this season as well on Thursday against the LA Kings. We thank you for watching. Or actually, I'll hit one more question from Tokai. How many more years will the Flames give Conrad to get this right? I'm willing to give however time he wants. He has been nailing on the draft picks, so hopefully it might not be longer, but we'll see. Great effort, one more win, and we can have equals win and losses. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the Thursday game goes. It will be pain if they win it though, because you had no destiny on tonight's elimination. So that will do it. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Have a great weekend if you can tune in on Thursday. And thanks for being part of Calgary Flames and Game Over Calgary. I'm Anand Unnithan, signing off.